Scoring points is easy in Madden 26 so long as you're calling good plays. And by the end of this video, you're going to be doing the same thing with this 5-play Steelers mini scheme. Let me show you. Alright, wasting no time with it here. We're jumping into the first play. Shot, fade, cross, cover 2. You can see how this guy's wide open every single time down the sideline, okay? You're going to say, BLT, slow down. How do you do that? Okay, simple. Put Y on a shriek, okay? You're going to see what's going to happen. When they're in cover 2, we're running a fade down the sideline. If we show both players at the same time, you're going to see Thielen's running right over that cloud flat defender, and that's exactly what is going to allow us, to get this open. If you wanted to, you could put your tight end on a drag in case they switch stick onto the cloud flat. But nevertheless, we take the snap, we get time to throw, our quarterback hits us right in stride, we're able to catch that pass every single time. Okay, so you catch someone sleeping in cover 2, that's the play that you want to go to. But the best part really about this play is it's not just a cover 2 beater, okay? It's not just a one-play touchdown. You come into cover 3, boom, you take the snap, you set the route combination up the same way. So you really don't have to read a defense with this play, okay? You walk the line, take the snap. Even if they're in cover 3, you can still pass lead that ball. Thielen has butterfingers and doesn't want to catch a green pass, but you can just see how, boom, we look at the replay, we're going to see that this guy's in an outside third, okay? And he's going to just stay in the middle, stay in between these two receivers, and then we're going to be able to throw this pass, boom, right here on the sideline, okay? So again, we're going to set it the same way. Hopefully, we have an opportunity to actually throw our pass right here, given our players want to run this correctly. But boom, you see it. There we go. Cover 3. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Hold the defender inside with the shriek, and then throw the fade over the top on the sideline, okay? So boom, go through it again. Easy fade every single time on the sideline. Now, shot, fade, cross, not done, because even against man coverage, set it up just like this time. This time, don't put your wide receiver on a shriek. Just leave him like this, and then boom, you can see how that crosser there to DK Metcalf is a great man beater. Does a good job of stepping on the toes of the DB, not allowing him to get over the top of him, and then he's just going to be able to create separation to the top of the route. So go through it again right here. You can see this time also our crosser's wide open right there. Again, given Aaron Charles Rodgers wants to hit a pass to a wide open receiver, we could certainly have a big gain there for us. But with this route concept against man, you have 3 man beaters just by making one hot route. Boom, take it. You can see how Calvin Austin, there we go, Aaron. Easy dot on the sideline. You're able to beat that coverage too. So our first play, shot, fade, cross, absolutely dominant against every defense you're going to see in this game. All right, sometimes you get put into bad situations or the game's too fast. This play is going to allow you to slow it down and make offense really easy. All right, if we come into everyone's favorite formation in this game, gun bunch X nasty, we come into motion RPO alert zone, you're going to see exactly the play that I'm talking about, okay? This is just an RPO. Now, what I would do actually is I'm going to call timeout because I want to make sure that by default, for some reason, this formation actually has 2 tight ends. So you want to make sure that you put a receiver in that slot position, okay? Very simple. Now we're just going to have them call regular zone defense, okay? Put Valdez-Scantling, the slot receiver, on a crosser. Put DK Metcalf on a curl, okay? Then open the menu, custom stem him down twice like this. So now basically he's going to be running a hitch, okay? Just a couple of hot routes, and now we have a beautiful play set up. Let this guy come in motion, and all you're doing is making a read over the middle of the field, okay? I'm going to show you which defender you're going to read, okay? Now, it might change for you in a game when you're playing against a user defender, okay? But more or less, they're going to have to use either this guy or this guy most of the time, okay? And you can see how on this play, how shallow these hooks are, okay? This defender is really shallow. This defender is really shallow. They're trying to take away the underneath, okay, on an RPO. So really, that's why we have our crosser running over the middle, because now you see the middle is completely wide open, okay? If this defender, Demario Davis, was cheating over more inside and guarding Valdez-Scantling, then I would just hit my hitch. But the reason why this is so dangerous is because if we just pay attention, Calvin Austin runs outside, attacks the zone logic here of this defender. He moves outside. Then we have a guy sitting inside the numbers and the hashes, okay? And that forces this guy to slide over and pick him up. Well, then we run another guy into the middle of the field. So it's really just utilizing a few routes and understanding how you can attack zone logic to really do a great job of doing that, okay? Here I'm going to have them shade their hook zones up, Okay, so this time they're gonna take away the crosser a little bit better. So boom, I'm gonna take the snap, and now I can just hit an easy check down dump off there to DK Metcalf, because again, I'm reading the same exact defender, but he does something different this time. Okay, I'm reading DeMario. DeMario drops. Although you could probably still just hit this pass if you wanted to wait on it, but really with RPOs, you're trying to get rid of the ball very quickly, okay? If your guy doesn't want to get to the middle of the field soon enough, right? Like, he gets bumped right here, right? And so you have to recognize that he's not going to be able to get to the middle soon enough, so they're going to call you for a penalty. So then you just have to make sure that you get rid of this ball right here to DK. So again, very, very easy little RPO setup that you can start utilizing, even if they run another defense. If they want to run cover 2 this time, right? Changes the responsibilities for their defense a little bit, but for us, we're going to call the same play, and we're pretty much making the same read here. This time we would check the ball down out there to our flat, just because they did a much better job of guarding our 2 threats. But when they want to run cover 3, they want to run cover 4, I mean, I even missed this. This is a dot. This is a dot because their hooks come too far down. This is a mid-read defender in cover 2. He's coming down to stop the run because of the RPO, but then he's too late. And so that's why RPOs are so dangerous, but you're actually calling a good zone beating route concept from this RPO, and so you're kind of getting the best of both worlds. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right, if you've liked this offense so far, I encourage you to go down below into the pinned comment and grab my offensive ebook where I break down this full scheme in detail for you to have you dominating. Let's jump right back into it. All right, our next play is absolutely going to demolish zone coverage and make it nearly impossible for them to run. Let me show you. All right, so if we come back here to tight doubles, the play that I'm talking about is going to be cross wheels, okay? This is a very easy play that will open up your offense, okay? So what we're going to do is simply put our tight end on a shriek right here, okay? Now we have a good zone beating route concept that we just have them in random zone coverage, and we're just making the read. This is a very easy high-low concept, okay? You're looking DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, then maybe your wheel routes to Kenneth Gainwell or to Adam Thielen, okay? So boom, we're gonna take this snap, and actually right here, you can see how Thielen's open off the rip, okay? The key thing that you wanna pay attention to is if you're playing against cover 2, okay? You see the too high look, so you're anticipating cover 2, but then you see that right off the snap, this guy's dropping back like he's in a cloud, okay? When he's dropping back like he's in a cloud, you just wanna dump this pass off right here, and he actually makes a one. I didn't even realize he caught this pass with one hand, but you want to throw this pass even sooner than I did, like right here. Or no, actually probably right here is when you want to throw it, okay? So if they're in cover 2, let's see, are they going to be in, yeah, they're going to be in cover 2 again right here. So that's when you want to just hit this read quickly to Thielen. Boom, throw it. Because you can see how that's easy completion, and if you can make a guy miss, run him over with the truck, stiff arm, maybe juke him out, you can see how that's a very easy, pickup for you just by reading one defender, making a quick read. Those are really the best reads to make. But let's just say they don't run cover 2, right? Here they're going to be in cover 3, right? So now I'm looking at my high-low that I was telling you about. Okay, you're looking for DK or you're looking for your crosser in the middle of the field, depending on where their hook zones are dropping to. Okay, you look at number 20 and 56, they're dropping back. I see that as soon as the ball snap. So now I'm trying to get rid of this ball right here to DK Metcalf on this drag. Also, Gainwell kind of sets like a screen on Cam Jordan right here. The flat defender gets a little bit of a chip on him, allows us to pick up some more yards. But really, you're just making the high-low concept regardless of what zone coverage they're in. You can also see how you can step up in the pocket with your quarterback. Don't be afraid to do that if you miss time a read. Like, you don't want to throw a late read. You would rather just step up in the pocket and move on to the next play. So boom, right here. This time, obviously, that's an easy drag. Although I could have just hit my running back out of the backfield there. But DK is able to make some stuff shake after the catch. So you can start to see how you're just going through a read progression with this play. First, honestly, right here, Thielen or Gainwell, terrible defense from them on this play. And I actually missed this. This would have been a money read to Gainwell right here. But then we're still able to come back, hit our drag. You miss reads, but luckily for us, sometimes you're able to get it back, kind of, and pick up really good yards right here after the catch. So that's just an easy play, gives you a lot of reads. Gonna be nearly impossible for them to stop. This is one of my least favorite plays to stop in this entire game, just because I'm a zone coverage defender, and so when you run zone coverage, there's so many openings for them to attack. start using this play. All right, next we're going to break down a play that beats man coverage over the top for an easy one-play touchdown. But I don't want you to miss out on the last play in this video, which is the best play in the entire game. Alright, and so that play that I'm talking about that beats man coverage for an easy one-play touchdown, if you come into the trips X nasty formation, you're going to scroll down until you see this play motion stick wheel, okay? You're going to press Y here on this play, and now you're going to, so this is a pressed man beater. You only want to call this play if they're running pressed man-to-man coverage, but we know that that's a huge meta. And I say pressed man, if they're running cover 2 man, don't run this play either. Only if they're running like press cover 0 or press cover 1. But if they have a safety over the top on this right side, don't call this play. Although you see on this play they have a guy in the middle of the field, so this would be a fine time to call this play, right? So all you're gonna see, they're gonna press their defense. Like I said, you're looking at this defender right here, okay? If he's pressed, right, then that's who you're trying to attack, right? So all you're gonna see, our route concept is just creating a pick on him. Thielon's going to run a post inside, an S post, then Calvin Austin's going to run a wheel up the sideline. And so what's supposed to happen is these guys are supposed to bump into each other, the DBs, and create an easy touchdown for you. Now, I would block my running back. I would probably just put 2 drags on the field, or I would put like a backside dig combo, something like this, just to give us some options in case the bumping doesn't occur, because it won't happen every time. But we're going to take the snap, and you're going to see it right there, boom. The bumping occurred, and now we just lob it over the top, and our quarterback unfortunately sails it. Now, you do want to try to lob the ball over the top. Hopefully, your quarterback actually, can hit an accurate throw, but lobbing it just allows you to kind of catch it in stride and score a touchdown a lot of the time. But that's also why you have some of these other routes on the field. If we look at the replay, this drag, you have it on the field against man. You have DK's dig against man if the bumping doesn't occur or the pass isn't open. But we're going to go through it again right here. He doesn't bump, and so now I'm just going through my progression, and I'm going to find DK Metcalf on that dig route, stepping up, moving around in the pocket. And so hopefully I can get it to work to show you guys. If you guys have watched some of my other content, some of my other videos, you guys have known about this. But again, like I said, it's not going to happen. The bumping doesn't occur every time, but it's just the concept of the play is trying to get it to work. So boom. Boom, there it is, okay? There's the bumping, and unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers looks like he's going to sail another one. Although that time, I probably could have just free-formed that pass over the top instead of lobbing it. But you can see how the concept works, right? Boom, bump. Thielen bump him, and then we run a wheel over the top. It's man coverage. No one else is over there, and it's just an easy walk-in touchdown over the top. I'm going to call it one more time. If it doesn't work, I mean, hopefully you guys can have more success with it. I've ran this play a lot, and it's worked a lot for me, but for some reason, Aaron is just not really doing his thing here. But we're going to set it up the same way. Boom, watch it. Bumping doesn't occur, and then we would just be looking to throw our backside dig right there to DK Metcalf in the middle of the field, okay? So that's the concept. It's the bumping. Can we get this bump to occur on the outside against man coverage? Like I said, sometimes Thielen gets pushed a little bit up the field so he doesn't create it, but a lot of the time, actually. And then you can also see sometimes the bumping doesn't occur, but this is still open just because he's faster than Alante Taylor, and so it would just be a lob over the top. So it kind of just depends on what happens in the play. You kind of have to read the play. I would look over there every play to see if it's open. Sometimes it will be, sometimes it won't. All right, so like I promised you, the best play in Madden 26 is still in the Steelers playbook. Let me show you. Alright, so obviously I make content for players of all skill levels, so everyone doesn't know about this play, and I'm going to show you even a way that even if you do know about it, how you can make it better, okay? We're going to come into a random defense. This is motion cross post from Gun Bunch X Nasty, by the way. We're going to just put X on a streak, and that's all you have to do. Now, make sure you're on the short side with this play, okay? You can see that the ball is on the left side of that little hash mark in the middle, okay? So it's on the left side, so we're going to be on the left hash, which means our bunch here is on the wide side. Why is this important? Because we want to run Calvin Austin to the short side of the field, okay, when he comes in motion. Because, boom, you're going to see, take it, they're going to be in cover 3, and so that means that we're going to just be able to pass lead that ball towards the sideline because we're on the short side. If I was on the other side calling this play, there would be too much space for the defender to be able to close ground. You can see this is the same concept that we talked about earlier in the video from shot fade cross, right? We're gonna run a shriek and then we're gonna run a wheel up the sideline. Hold 29 inside and then allow for 19 to just be able to catch this pass. Easy pass lead for us right there on the sideline, okay? So you're just starting to see how effortless this can be. And so we're gonna go through it because it's not just the wheel. The wheel's just probably the best part, but here they're gonna run cover 2, but then that flat is gonna drop pretty far back. So that's the thing. You're just reading defenders, right? When they run cover 2, you're gonna say to yourself, okay, if this guy drops back to stop the wheel, which he does right here, when I believe this was match coverage actually, but we're just gonna dump this ball off to this drag, easy, okay? But if he's gonna stay down, like if he just stopped right here, then we would throw the wheel because he just left it, right? So that's the thing about this play is you kind of have to make reads based on certain defenders. Right here you see an obvious man coverage tell, which means you got to throw your crab route. And you can see how I just threw a pass behind the line of scrimmage and pick up like 15 yards in that play, right? Even though that defender's on the side of the field that I'm throwing to, you can see how he's cross-manned, but even a cross-man can't stop the good old-fashioned crab route, man. And this is kind of the secret that I'm telling you guys about. It's like even everyone knows about this play, but do you know about the crab route and how dangerous it is? This will happen so often against man coverage. It's so hard to stop this play. And then when you combine it with like spacing switch, for example, also from this, not in this playbook, but from this formation, like these running back routes are dangerous, man. Okay, so I'm gonna go through it one more time right here. Boom, you're gonna see, and I can just throw my wheel right there. You know, that time they were in cover 3, so maybe I should have waited, but it's all about reading the play. You can actually just go up and down with this play, all up and down the field all game, and it's going to be so hard for them to stop. But you can just go up and down the field with this play all game, and it's going to be extremely challenging for them to stop. So more man coverage here, could easily just throw this crab route, but I see over the middle of the field, Jonnu Smith, my tight end post is another great option. So the best part about this play is that it has so many great parts, honestly. The wheel route's almost unstoppable against zone. The crab route's unstoppable against man coverage. Your tight end post is going to create separation against both of them, and then you always have a check down available to you in case they play pretty good defense. So motion cross post, the best play in this game, not just because of the wheel or the post, but also that running back crab route adds an extra layer that you might not have known about before. All right, you now know how to run the best offense in Madden 26, but if you're still struggling on defense, I want to personally work with you one-on-one to change that. Check out this video right here where I walk through all the different ways we can work together to make you dominant on Madden 26. I'll see you over there.